Good morning to you all watching as we come in live from Bali. Miscalculated the time just a little bit. I thought it was going to be 7 a.m. But it's not. It's 5 a.m. But never mind, it just means we're going to start the stream in the dark at an unlit airport, which is fine. So instead of looking around this very, very dark airport, let's get into the aircraft and get things underway. So welcome if you are watching from Australia at this time in the morning. It's very, very, very early. Well, it's not really, it's 7 a.m, but it's Sunday, so it's early for a Sunday. And which means I had to get out of bed early and start this, get the flight underway. Anywho, let's have a look at some weather before we get underway. So this is Bali. Have a 2-knot wind, be a bit of a crosswind takeoff. But 2 knots is not really much of a wind at all, so it shouldn't have too much of an effect. Taking off from runway 09, heading out to the west, and then we will turn to the east, head north, and then eventually turn again to head. Sorry, I said turn to the east, turn to the west, I should say, and then turn west and head all the way over to Jakarta. Now let's have a look at the weather in Jakarta. So they have got a 3-knot wind. We're coming on 25 left, I think. 25 right. I can't actually remember. Let's have a look. We're coming on 25 left. So 3-knot, almost headwind, bit of cloud scattered down to 1900 feet. Haze, 25 degrees in the morning. This is coming into summer in this part of the world, and so it should be fairly uneventful flying. We are, of course, in the A321neo, which you can't really see. Maybe if I turn on some lights, there we go, sort of see it. That sort of made a bit of a difference. And no storms this time, thank God. No hurricanes like there was when we were coming into Florida. So I have already done the flight plan. So 614 nautical miles. It's a longer flight than I remember. I did a test flight. Of course, it was there was no wind at either airport, so it was just take off and head straight there. It reduced our flying time by quite a bit. Just going to double check that we haven't got any repeats. No, we have not. Performance today is 173 for rotate. I've already put in flaps for 1 rad nav. We have got ILS loaded, 111.10, and we have a cruise altitude of flight level 360 today. I've already requested IFR clearance, so I'm just going to get straight in and get some systems fired up. So we'll start with the beacon lights, as always. Batteries can come on. APU master switch, better get that started and wait those 3 seconds. And there it is, we can start the APU. We'll unroll our landing lights for now. While I'm talking about lights too, I'm still having the issue with the Turtlebeach activating these buttons down here. You can see me running my fingers along on the webcam. Haven't heard anything back from Turtlebeach yet as if they're going to have a fix for that. There's definitely a firmware issue because it only started after I updated the latest firmware, and it happens in all aircraft. It's not just the Airbus family, it's happening in the 737. It's also happening in the A319, I suppose that's part of the 320 family anyway, same cockpit. And I did spawn into the 747 just to double check it's doing there. It is doing it on that one as well. So it's any button I have bound down here, it's definitely the Turtlebeach. So we'll wait to see what they say. Anyway, APU has all started up, so we'll get the seatbelts on. APU bleed can come on, external power can go off. Not that there's much point, but we are going to disconnect. It's already disconnected. It's already it's doing that classic flight sim, Microsoft Flight Sim thing where it just has already sprung back. So we'll get our pushback started. Yeah, there it is there. It should have been here. Never mind. Fuel pumps can come on. Probably need those for startup. And we'd better put the ignition into start mode. Park brake can come off as well. And we'll just wait for our pushback. We're going to push back to the left, I think. Pretty sure. That would make sense. We're taking from runway 09. Yes, we are going to push back. Ah, no, we're taking off from runway 09. We're going to push back to the right. Jeez. Are we moving yet? Come on. So I can see a taxi line behind us, I think. There's another aircraft right there too. Can't really see anything. I'm going to try and push back to this taxi line here. I don't know if you can see it on the stream. It's really dark. We might as well start that now. Push back early. Starting up engine number 2 first. Did I turn my bleed on? Yeah, I did. Yes, I did. Yeah, so N2 is rising. I don't know if that was a taxi line. That seems a little bit too thick. Probably turned just in time then. So we'll stop it about there. Get our park brake back on. And we'll turn on the AI comms as well. Just wait for our little friend to disappear, and then I'm going to turn on, there we go, I'm going to turn on our taxi lights already. Oops, no, not that one. Taxi. Okay, engine 2 started, engine 1 coming up. So what was that? Oh, it wasn't. No, it's not even close to. Oh, taxi line's way, way back over there. Okay. And Air France, of course, making an appearance. I think Air France has made an appearance on almost every stream I've had. These are not airports Air France A320s can get to without island hopping. Hydraulic pumps have pressurised, so we're going to go to flaps to 1, get the speed brake armed as well. Just waiting for engine 1 to finish rolling up. We've got our taxi clearance, we should do. Hold short runway 09 using taxiway A. Of course, we are flying IndiGo, so our call sign is I fly. Let's get the ignition back to normal. APU bleed can come off. We don't need the turning lights. Taxi lights already on. Get the parking brake off. Did I put the seatbelts on? I do remember, yeah I did. Okay, and away we go. So yes, we are back in the A321neo today after flying it on the last stream. There will be a bit of diversity with aircraft on this channel coming soon. So next stream is actually going to be in the A319neo. And then I'm umming and ahhing whether or not I stream the 737 MAX 8 by Breddock. It's not bad. It's not the best aircraft that I've purchased. Certainly not the worst. But it's just having some landing issues where it's struggling to land it. Which is no surprise considering it's me and I struggle to land even these, which can land themselves. But I'm going to do some practice after this stream and see if I can get it. See if I can get the knack of it. Of course, if PMGG release the 737NG series onto Xbox between now and when is the next stream? Thursday. I will definitely be adding that to the stream lineup. I don't see that happening. Also, I've got to remember it's going to be about 100 Australian dollars as well. So maybe. So we are flying IndiGo in Bali. That's because I don't have an Indonesian airline at all. And where are we? Oh yeah, up to the... Didn't take long. So I'm using an Indian airline instead of an Indonesian airline because geographically this is the closest airline that I have. I suppose I could have flown Cathay, being a Hong Kong airline, but IndiGo made more sense. Not because they both start with in. Of course, the domestic Indonesian airline would be Lion Air, I think. Oh, they have a few other names under their brand as well. I forget what they are. I think Malindo Air. That might be just international. Oh, Wings Air as well is also another one of these. They fly the ATRs. They're just going a little bit too quick. Let me drop that much power. Oops. Oh, I probably should stop there. Oh, maybe not. A little bit further around. Now, I've been progressively using the blue arrow for taxi less and less, actually learning how to read the taxiway signs, which I don't think they're overly accurate in the game though. I don't think they're 100% because it's a little bit weird. Of course, also flight sim will try and taxi you to your runway in the way it thinks is the quickest way, and that's not actually the most accurate way. Okay, no, now we're there. 2977. Yeah, QNH 29.77, so that is correct for Meta. Let's get some landing lights on. We also bet to set the auto brake to max. I feel like I'm forgetting. I've been flying the 737 and I feel like I'm forgetting something. I'm not. There's just a lot more you have to do in the 737. It is not as much of an iPad with wings than the A320 family. Slowly making my way up because I don't want to touch the brakes because it will actually disable my auto brake and I'll forget to turn it back on again. Come on, get your fat ass around there. Okay, that's close enough. Let's go the nose in just a little bit. We'll get power up to 50%. Or thereabouts. I don't think I have my nav lights on. I didn't have my nav lights on. And we'll go power to flex. So 172 is our VR. Just giving it a little bit of right rudder. Passing 100, so we'll release the nose. Hopefully we don't tip. It's only a 2-knot wind. 160, stay centre, stay centre. Oops, rotate. Bit of a late rotate. Positive rate gear coming up, not that you can see it. Oops. We are nassering it to the moon. Let's drop that nose just a little bit. Again, I'm used to flying the 737. You've got to hold back your the yoke when you're taking off and that. We'll drop that flap. And leave it into climb. Look at that, it just hit the autopilot and the aircraft did not move. That is what I would call, apart from the space shuttle mode at the start, a pretty near perfect takeoff. So looking good over Bali. a pretty decent angle attack. This is the Pratt & Whitney version of the Neo. I love the climb performance of this one. So what are we at? 3,500 feet per minute climb. Beautiful. Just going to double check that we did center. We didn't center those. Get those centered into climb. We will lose the speed brake. And we're just going to keep going up to, I think, 7,000. It is, yes, 7,290. Decimal 77 is our QNH still. Okay, approaching 7,000. 190, so it's quite a leap. So we do have a bit of a deviation as we sort of fly away from the direction we want to go, and then we will turn to the left and then we'll come back. So we are then flying over the airport we just took off from. We should more or less be at no, we won't be at cruising altitude in, what's that, 40 miles? Well, we could be. We will see. That sun is coming up. That is Bali beneath us. I lost my nav lights again. No, I can't have. Oh, no, I haven't. I don't have strobes on, though. I definitely did turn those on. That's the Turtlebeach doing that. That's rather annoying. They might not be on when I took off, but they're definitely on when I was planning. Oh, we have gone above 10,000, so we can actually lose the landing lights now as well. Everything else remains on. So I don't think there's a lot of wind around. I'm going to bring up windy for that area as soon as I can. There we go. So this is windy. Yeah, that was weird. There's a big delay. And there's a big delay in what the iPad's showing. Never mind. You can sort of see it's a little bit erratic. There's not a lot. It's not fast-moving wind at all. So it should be fairly uneventful. Like I said, this is coming into the summer months, so this is coming into storm season down here. But there's no rain forecast, which is great. Currently where I am now, there is rain off and on. So if it starts raining in the stream, my microphone is going to pick it up, and I won't know about it because I'm wearing noise-cancelling headphones. And that has happened on stream, I think not the last one, but the one before, when I was flying into Hong Kong. I didn't realise that it was pouring with rain outside, and I think I even mentioned on the stream, oh, I can really hear the weather. Anyway, passing 180, so we'll get the QNH to standard, and we should get our next altitude increase soon. I reckon it's going to be 260, oh, I was going to say 250. So up to 260, so that's 10 away from our cruise altitude. There's Bali in all its glory. Actually, more of it down there, yeah. So a very, very popular holiday resort if you didn't know what Bali is. All sorts of mischief is gotten up to there, within their laws, of course. Just a bit of a tip, don't try and traffic drugs in or out of Bali. You will be shot. You'll be lined up and shot. That's not even an exaggeration. So I didn't plan on this being a night flight, but seems to be. There's a 777-300. Looks like coming into land, maybe at Bali. You can land a 777-300 at Bali, I'm pretty sure. Oh no, they are ascending. They were descending, now they're ascending. Oh, also, my last stream I mentioned, I use the metric system, but it sucks that I can't see the altitude in feet, because that makes sense to me. I found a setting where you can have altitude in feet and everything else in metric. So my fuel, for example, is in metric, and as it is in the Airbus as well, so just under 8 tonnes. So when I'm doing my fuel calculations, in fact I'll bring it up, I have everything in metric. It's made me very happy. I don't know if that's a Sim Update 10 feature, or if it's always been there and I didn't know, but yeah, it made me very excited. So now I can see other players' altitudes in feet. And you probably say, oh, but you live in Australia, why would you not measure that in metric? I have no idea altitude in metres. It makes no sense. 36,000 feet makes sense to me. I have an idea of how high that is. And in fact, when you're flying, so if you're flying in Australia, within Australia, you know, the captain always comes on and says, you know, we're now cruising out to cruise altitude, which is 36,000 feet. They'll say it in feet, they won't say it in metres, because it just makes no sense. It's like my height, I'm 6'3". It's 100 centimetres. No idea, 190 something, 192. Yes, it's weird. But I'm glad that I found the setting. It made me very, very happy. That was yesterday. Yesterday when I was resetting everything, actually, every 2 weeks I go in and delete all sync data and then resync it back up, which takes around about 8 or so hours, maybe 6 to 8 hours, depending on how good the internet is behaving that day. I have fibre broadband, but it's really slow, 50 megabits per second. It can go faster if you pay an exorbitant fee, because that's how they operate Australia here. If you want something that should be for free, you have to pay for it. There are third world countries on this planet that have internet 5 times faster than what we have here in Australia. Frustrating as fuck. Anyway, we have definitely overtaken 260, so yeah, it's taking us to 360. So that'll be our cruise altitude. I won't get an ETA until we have reached cruise and settled. I really feel like I've forgotten something. Double check, now that's all good. And we're all good up there. I don't know what it could be. I think it's, yeah, like I said, I'm used to flying the I have been getting used to flying the 737. You have to remember so much more. In fact, I have to, you see this piece of paper that I'm just putting onto my yoke. Get in there. I have to have that sitting there. That has my my flap speeds for the 737. because I'm not sure if the aircraft in real life, if it automatically adjusts the speed. I don't know, but in the Bredock 3D you do have to manually do it, because if you leave your speed on auto, when you change your altitude, your speed will drop, which doesn't make sense. You'd think it would increase, but no, it drops, and next thing you know you're doing 175 knots with no flaps, descending to the earth. So you have to put your speed into manual, which means that you have to know your flap speeds, and I don't know them. I'm still learning them. And of course Airbus has, what, 5 flap settings, 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4, whereas the Boeing has, what do they have, 0, 1, 2, 5, 10, is it 15, 25, 30, 40, is that 9? No, that can't be right. Has a lot more flap settings than the Airbus anyway, so I have to remember. Actually, I'll just look on my card, it will tell me. So that max has, flaps up, 1, 2, 5, 10, 15, 25, 30 and 40, so 9 possible flap settings. God, this aircraft is such a good climber. I should have set the chronometer so I knew how long it took to climb. The Boeing does it in about 12 minutes, which is brilliant. This, I think, is just about the same. Of course, I spawned in an hour and 7 minutes ago, and the clock automatically started, so I can't go off that. Oh, actually, I didn't just go off the time. What are we, 7:26? I probably took off a little after 10 past, so 15 minutes. It's not bad. So once the aircraft has reached cruise and has settled, I will turn off the seatbelt sign. Now, I don't know if this is normal. This, mind you, all of the aircraft in the A320 family aircraft in the Sin do this, including the Asobo. The engines drop down quite a bit, and then they have to power back up to near takeoff power to settle again. I don't know if that's normal. So it's coming back up again, 75%, 76. I feel like it could be modelled a little bit better. Could also be a setting in the flight computer that I haven't put in. Anyway, we are pretty much levelled off now, so we're going to get that seatbelt sign off. Passengers are free to move around the cabin. Come on, there we go. Let's have a quick look. It's not getting, oh yeah, there we go, there's the sun coming up. Not much of an outside view, but I'm kind of hoping the sun comes up in the next hour, which reminds me I need to check the ETA. So ETA 22:36 is now currently 21:28, so another hour and 8 minutes, and we will be on the ground in Jakarta, hopefully taxied to the gate. Just keeping an eye on the weather. There is haze coming up in Jakarta at the moment. 3-knot wind. It's pretty much going to be a headwind. We are landing on 25 left, but changed that. Visibility 3 1/8 miles, so it's not the best visibility. That's because of the haze. But it's scattered cloud down to 2,000 feet. Looks like nothing below that. So we can deal with a bit of haze because we can see through it, and there are no weather warnings either. So pretty nice landing conditions into Jakarta this morning. And we will be landing at approximately 6:30 a.m. Jakarta time. Because I screwed up the time and hadn't planned on a dark departure. Let's see if there's anyone else stupid enough to be around at this time in the morning. We did see that 777-300, probably a converted freighter, a passenger to freighter, carrying God knows what. There's not really anyone around. I suppose while we've got the map open, we can see where we're going. So we're just traveling pretty much over the islands of Indonesia. Not a lot of ocean cover apart from this bit here, but we are quite close to the coast. And around and up into Jakarta up there. So a nice islandish sort of flight. I was going to do that with the 737, this flight with the 737 later on, but I thought it's not really appropriate to fly the 737 MAX over the first country where it's crashed. So out of respect, I'm not going to fly a 737 over Indonesia or over Nigeria. Was it Nigeria? I forget what the other one was. And funny enough, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but the MCAS system in the 737 MAX by Bredok is you can't turn it off, which I think is quite, well, it's not really funny, but it is a little bit ironic that you can't turn off the MCAS system. I don't think the MCAS system works in Flight Simulator anyway, but still, I thought they could have kind of included the ability to turn those switches off. Anyway, instead of sitting here talking garbage, I'm going to take 5 minutes and be back in 5, I guess. And I'm back. Let's drop the music. Oh, let's go back to inside view. I think it's a little bit too loud on the capture card. I might just drop that down just a little bit. It's gone right up the top. That might be a little bit better. Oh, we can lose the map now too. So entering ATA, see if it's updated, 22:37. Oh, it has. We've gained a couple of minutes, but it's exactly 1 hour until we have touchdown. So this is the uninteresting part of the flight. And my park brake has turned itself on. That means all my lights have all messed up as well. Yeah, they have. Beacon's turned itself off. Strobe has gone on to on, apart from set up on auto. My nav lights have come. Excuse me. Nav lights have turned themselves off. And my spoiler hasn't armed itself, which is interesting. One thing that it has been doing recently is dropping the landing gear. It hasn't done it in the Airbus. It's only done it in the 7.3. But that is also bound to the buttons on the quad as well. So it'll be interesting to see if that does actually drop. I know they've definitely raised themselves in the Airbus several times on stream. And I did a few practice flights yesterday in the 7.3, and not a single one of them did nothing go wrong in regards to bound buttons automatically activating. It happened every single flight. And I haven't turned on turbulence. Not that this really picks much up. It's quite selective. So Indonesia is probably more developed than most people realise. It's still an underdeveloped nation, but it's getting there. I think tourism has definitely played a huge part in that. Oh, that looks so pretty. And then darkness. So just in case you didn't know, this is the Latin VFR A321neo. If you're an Xbox user, I definitely recommend it. Of course, it has the same, it shares the same cockpit as the Asobo A320neo that comes with the game, but that's true to life because it is the same cockpit in real life anyway. The handling is very different, and how the aircraft performs is also quite different. In the sense that I have to do a couple of manual slowdowns before we start putting flaps out as we get near the end. Don't know if that's how it is in real life, but that's just how I do it. The Asobo, very, very automated in that sense. But it is, it makes it a bit more interesting if you have to do a little bit more to fly, as opposed to just relying on all the systems. As I say that, I'm sitting here on autopilot, not touching any of the controls at all. But you know, this one's a little bit more fun to fly. The sound profile is not bad. I'm flying the Pratt & Whitney. The Leap versions have better sound profile, but they have really crappy climb performance. Like unbelievably crappy. Like you're sort of barely doing 1,000 feet per minute on the climb up to cruise. So it takes ages, like 45 minutes to go from takeoff to cruise altitude, which is, I feel like it's a little bit too long. And the 737 has amazing climb performance, and it uses the same engines. They're using the Leaps as well, but it has really nice climb performance. And it, as it's climbing, and the engines are sitting on around 84%, whereas the Airbus it's 88. I mean, it's a bigger aircraft, so it would make sense. They have got a higher thrust rating for the same engines. Also, bigger cockpit windows on the Airbus, I have noticed, but smaller display screens. Whereas the 737 has those massive, big, beautiful display screens. While I'm comparing Airbus narrowbody with Boeing narrowbody, the nav displays on the Boeing are not as intuitive as the Airbus. They have all the information on there, but it's just not as cleanly displayed. Whereas the Airbus, it gives you all the information you need with minimal sort of. You don't have to go through and change too much to get the information you do need. But I do like the automatic ILS system on the Boeing. You don't have to remember to turn on the ILS; it's just always on. I suppose I could do that in the Airbus, but if I turn it on, I get nothing, and those diamonds will not. I don't think they'll appear if the ILS system is on. So you have to leave it off until you are anywhere between 20 and 15 nautical miles away from touchdown. See if there's anyone else around. I doubt there is. Oh, there's a couple up there. Oh, there's 3. Definitely not even close to as busy as what it would be if we're flying over mainland USA. Oh, the other reason I'm thinking about not streaming the 737 is the frame rate drops really terribly, like probably down to like maybe 10, 12 FPS while taxiing along on the ground. That was at a standard airport. That was not in a purchased or handcrafted airport. It stutters like there's no tomorrow. And also crashes to desktop once you have arrived at your gate. It's just a little bit annoying. But I will spawn into the 737 today and have another go at it. Just keen to get behind the wheel of a Boeing. That's why I bought the Yoke instead of a side stick, because I wanted to predominantly fly Boeing aircraft. Speaking of Yoke, it's filthy. There's chocolate on it. That's why I shouldn't eat chocolate and sim at the same time. Alrighty, let's check the ETA one more time. 22:38. So we're slowly but surely gaining minute by minute. So in under less than an hour, 52 more minutes. 51 more minutes, I can't count. Excellent, we're starting to see more and more of the sun. I'm hoping that by the time we get to Jakarta that it will be a daytime landing. Nothing very exciting happening out there. While we're waiting for this flight to end, we can have a look at our next stream. So this coming Thursday it will be at what time is it at? 10:30 Universal Standard Time, Thursday morning, which is evening for me. We'll be flying the British Airways A319neo from Edinburgh to London Gatwick, because why not? I was going to do Heathrow, but it's always quite busy coming into Heathrow, so I thought I'd do Gatwick. I mean, Gatwick can be as busy as well. Cancel that. I'll come back to that. My park brake just turned itself on again. This is just never ending. My lights turn themselves off again. That one activated weirdly. Did it arm my spoiler? No, it didn't. It's not touching the spoiler. Auto throttle. I've also got auto throttle bound as well, because you need to turn that off when you're flying the 7.3, and that hasn't deactivated either. So it just seems to be the first 6 lights it's activating. So turn on my taxi and everything. No, it didn't turn all those on. So weird. It's so very random. Turtlebeach, get back to me, come on. Anyway, so what was I saying? We're flying the A319neo from Edinburgh to London Gatwick. And this is the, again, Latin VFR A319. Has quite a nice sound profile to it as well. I don't mind it at all. It's quite loud. Also handles a little bit weird on the ground. I sort of have to taxi with the engines running at near 40% just to get any movement, which I feel is a little bit too high. And of course, once you are moving and you drop them down, say below 36%, you just slow down and eventually stop. So I'm not sure if it's meant to be like that, or if it's just how they've modelled it. But there's already been updates to this aircraft model since release as well, which is good. So it means they are paying attention to things. I might give them some personal feedback on flying it, mostly on the taxiing of the aircraft. I cannot comment on landing because I'm just not the best at it. Did my webcam just... I just noticed my webcam changes when I go to... Interesting. I must have a different overlay. Well, I can't change that now. It sort of zooms in. Didn't notice. I have to fix that when the stream's finished. I do like to have continuity. Excellent. So that sun is definitely making an appearance. Just make out the livery, IndiGo livery. It's quite a nice livery. It's almost sort of Boeing-ish. Sort of it's almost Dream. I reckon it's probably inspired by the Dreamliner livery, I reckon. Which is quite funny because IndiGo, I don't think they have any Boeing in their fleet. I'm pretty sure they're all narrow body. I'm just going to check. IndiGo fleet always gives you the Wikipedia link first. Don't want that. Go to planespotters.net. So IndiGo apparently have 265 aircraft plus 20 on order. That's made up of 31 in-service ADR 42 and 72. Doesn't actually give us, oh, actually, will it give us a split? No, just 72. Okay, so it's got 35 ATR 72s, 122 Airbus A320neos with 122 in service, 19 parked. A320-200s, the COs, they've got 19 in service, 1 parked. A321, they have 59 A321neos in service with 9 parked. When was that as of? That was updated on the 1st of October, so yesterday. So they have a fairly big fleet, largest fleet of any Indian airline. They're not, I don't think what you'd call a flag carrier. Air India is the flag carrier. I mean, they probably have the flag on the side of the fuselage, but I don't think that means they are the flag carrier. But yeah, so they are a growing airline. Of course, they're a budget. I think they're a budget airline. Let's have a look at that. Wikipedia will tell us that. Oh yeah, low cost. So a low cost airline. It's the largest airline in India by passengers carried and fleet size. Oh, they have 53.5% of domestic market share. That's quite a lot for one airline to have. I don't know how many airlines there are in India. That's not something I actually looked up. Anyway, just a little bit of information about IndiGo. They do not fly between Bali and Jakarta, so this is what you would call a fictional flight. There's another aircraft in front of us. Which way are you going, buddy? You're going straight towards us, but you are definitely below us. Let's see if ATC have said anything about it yet. No, they have not. Very, very few instruction on the board today. Let's see if we can see what altitude you're at coming up soon, and what airline you might be flying as well. If they're just island hopping, they wouldn't be very high up at all. LNI, I don't know what LNI is. Oh, Line Air, of course. It's going to tell us aircraft type. Generic. Ah, that's a shame. And no proximity warnings from ATC. They are quite a wee way below us. What's the altitude? I can't read that from here. 28,000, so 8,000 feet below us. So we'll be doing a short flight. Probably on the same course that we're doing, but in reverse. So as soon as we get to 240 miles away, I will take another quick 5 minutes. I'll leave my first officer. Pilot doesn't exist. That's his name, doesn't exist. Leave him or her or them to monitor the systems. Just getting fuel on board, 6.6 tonne. Might be a little bit too much fuel for this flight. Of course, if I look on the SIP on my yoke, you can see still the orange flashing light right below my finger there, telling me I have low fuel. But I've put stickers over that so I can't see it because I don't have low fuel. Just Turtlebeach just don't understand how to calculate fuel properly. Oh, we might do an ETA as well while we're here. 2240, so we keep gaining minutes. Why? Why? Because we have a headwind. Okay, it's only 14 knots, but it's still a headwind. what is our true airspeed? So doing Mach 0.782, true airspeed 459 knots. That's about right. Shouldn't be losing minutes then. Bit of an air pocket. Dropped our speed just a little bit. Altitude by a couple of feet. So if you are midway watching this on the replay, I mean, fast forward to the landing, this bit's not all that exciting. But if you want to watch future live streams or even fly alongside, don't forget to subscribe. Hit that notification bell if you want to. I mean, I don't on other people's channels, to be honest. You will be able to be notified when whenever I next go live. So I stream Thursday evenings and Sunday mornings. That's both Australian Eastern Standard Time. Thursdays would be 10:30 Universal Time, and then Sundays it would actually be Saturday night 2100 Universal Standard Time, which is 7 a.m. my time on Sunday. But just so you don't get confused over all the times, because sometimes I get it wrong, thinking this one was starting at 7 a.m. local time and it was actually 5. Just yeah, subscribe and watch the wait for the notification. But what I'm going to do is I have uploaded a video and I'm just going to bring it up on my screen if I can without it. Something went wrong. Something went wrong, tap to retry. Apparently I can't play my own video. Oh, that's not good. Let's try, oh, it's probably because I am signed in as me. Different profile, never mind. So that one. No, apparently I can't play my own video. That's crazy. That'll be why that video's not getting views. Might have to look at that after the stream as well. Never mind, I was going to plug, I've done a compilation of all my landings on all streams in September. So I'll be continuing that at the end of this month and knitting together all the videos from the October stream, and hopefully they improve as the months go on, because landing is not my strong point whatsoever. It is interesting to watch back my own landings and realise they're actually not as bad as I think they are at the time. They're still not great, but they're not too bad. Apart from 2 of them I did bounce, which I don't want to talk about too much. Anyway, we are at 240 nautical miles away, so that is my cue to take another 5 minutes, which I will definitely do, and I'll be back with you. And I'm back. I didn't turn the music on that time. I'm also not even at my chair. There we go. Now I'm back on the flight deck. Get OBS Blade back up and running. So I did have a question from a viewer in the last stream. So how am I streaming Xbox to YouTube? So there are a couple of ways you can do it. You can use streaming software. So Xbox has got Twitch built into it, so you can stream straight to Twitch. It's shithouse. The frame rate is just terrible. The latency is horrific. It was probably about 30-second delay between what I could see and what the Twitch viewers could see, and yeah, it was just I'd have crashes all the time. It would stop streaming. It was just terrible. It did not give me a chance to build up any form of an audience at all. So I've moved to YouTube. Already the channel, I think I'll be going for 4 weeks. And haven't been doing a lot of promotion. So there is an Instagram page. The link to that you can find on my channel profile. I think there's maybe 8 posts on there. I will be ramping it up, doing some shorts once I've got footage, which I definitely have got enough of now because I record every single stream. But there will be more stuff going up on there. But YouTube, so how I do it is I have a capture card. It's the only way you can really do it properly. A capture card going from my Xbox to my PC. And then I'm using OBS Studio for streaming, and discovered that the graphics card in my PC, it's not a gaming PC, I've got it for video editing, but the graphics card is one of the few in the series that doesn't have NVENC, so I can't offset the power required for streaming onto my graphics card. I'm using all CPU. It's only an i5. It does okay, and I can see my CPU usage right now is 50% at 30 frames per second. I'm only streaming at 30 frames because you can only play Flight Sim in 30 frames on the Xbox. It limits you to that, and I'm streaming at 1080p as well. There's no point in honestly, there's no point in streaming at higher than 1080. You can go, I mean, you can go 1440, you can go 4K if you want. But most of the audience are not going to be watching it at that higher resolution anyway. And also, I have really shitty internet on the world standard, so I probably couldn't stream in 4K even if I wanted to. Actually, I don't think I can stream at 4K through the capture card. I'm pretty sure it limits me to 1080. I just need to blow my nose. My allergies are kicking in. Where is my microphone? Where are you? There it is. I just want to mute my microphone for a sec. Sorry about that. It is hay fever season. Yeah, so sorry. So yeah, using OBS Studio, and then I've got OBS Blade, which is on my phone. So instead of buying an expensive Stream Deck, they can cost hundreds of dollars. I've just got OBS Blade, so I'll show the phone up to the webcam. So that's the interface there. So I can just tap. So if I just tap and change, you'll see the meta information will come up. And of course I can go to, I can turn the cam off from here as well. I can control all my audio also. I mean, a Stream Deck would be better because you have it's just one touch button. With this one I have to scroll through to get to muting, etc. But I can change my scenes pretty easily from that page. Also, I had to build a, so I can't really lift it up, I can sort of lift it up in there, you can sort of see it. That there is a Lego Technic sort of phone cradle, and it has a wireless charger built into it to keep my phone charged up, and now it's, oh, I've just messed it up. I just broke it. Oh, there we go. The phone is a lot heavier than the frame, and that's just using an iPhone. I was due for an upgrade, so I got the iPhone 14 Pro Max, because why the fuck not? Got to have a decent phone, decent cameras. The last one I had was an iPhone 11, so it's a definite upgrade. But we're not here to talk about phones, we're here to talk about planes. And it looks like that sun is definitely, oh, that looks so much better. In fact, that is screenshot worthy. Show your friends. No. Oh, I'm loving the sun effects on the dashboard right now. That looks really good. Actually, I've noticed there have been slight adjustments to colourings and stuff inside the Latin VFR aircraft, and it just looking better and better. Not entirely sure what these are meant to be. They're not in the Asobo version. I have seen them in the fly-by-wire version, and they're screws or bolts, but these here are just, they look like smudges, don't they? Get a closer look. So if I zoom right in, they're just, oh, they could be holes in the dash. For whatever reason, but they're there. They don't hinder me too much, but they just look a little bit messy. So we have now come down to 160 miles away, so we are on the home stretch. Another 40 miles and we will should go to our slowdown of 242 knots in preparation for descent, at which time I will turn on the ATC window and wait for further instruction. Oh, that sun's really starting to glare on the dash. In fact, my display panels are a little bit dark. Let's brighten those up just a little bit. Whoop, not that much. We can actually turn that all the way up now. And let's get some more light there. That's looking a bit better. That's a bit brighter. See if anyone's around yet. Not really anyone. Oh, there's someone down there just passing over the Oz waypoint. But the skies are pretty much ours. So coming into Jakarta, it's a pretty much, is it a straight in? Yeah, it is, yeah. So it's pretty much a straight in approach. There's no U-turning. That took ages. It took so long I even forgot I'd taken the screenshot. But yeah, but pretty simple airport to taxi around. There's not much really happening there. They have 3 runways apparently. In fact, can we look at that? Yeah, they do. So they've got 07 left and 25 right, 07 right and 25 left, and 06 and 24 all. So obviously 7 left, 7 right are in the same direction, and then 06 is slightly off, ever so slightly. It's not just renamed, it actually is off by 1 degree. But we will be coming in on 25 left, yeah, 25 left. So I'll refresh the meta and we'll have a quick look at the at a weather update. And it has gone into, so we don't have a warning, but it is recommending instrument flight rules apply just because of that haze. Wind is at 4 knots, nearly a headwind. Not far off from being a headwind, but 4 knots, not too worried. Visibly 2.5 miles. So it's come down. It was 3 3/4 before. Now it's 2.5. Scatter cloud down to 2,000 feet. So should be a fairly easy landing. My iced coffee has completely and utterly gone. Damn it, I was enjoying that. Onto the water. You can see that scatter cloud below us. We'll be flying through that. I love the purples and the oranges and the pinks that you always see in flight sim during a sunset or sunrise. This looks so nice. That will make for a good screenshot as well. Pretty calm flying conditions too. So we've got we got 4 knots, 4 knot, 3 knot, almost a headwind. Of course, when we make our turn to the left over Kurus or Kurus, that will become a crosswind, but it's what, 3-4 knots. It's barely a breath. Not like the 35 or 36 knot headwind we were landing in during Hurricane Ian when we flew into Florida just the other day. And I have to say, for the conditions, the landing was not bad. Maybe have destroyed the landing gear, but it was okay. There's our slowdown. So we are going to get ATC window on because it's already asked us to descend and probably going to ask us to expedite. No, it's not. So down to 280. It will probably ask us to expedite because it wants to drop us as quick as it possibly can for some reason. But I'm going to do that at 2,200 feet per minute to begin with. Yeah, please expedite. Yeah, fuck off. Stop trying to descend me too early. But I'm going to do down to 280 at 2,200 feet per minute. And we'll get rid of that until we are at 280. So I want to be around 270 at 80 miles away. And because there's barely any turns, this is a nice, easy approach to read on the nav display. Looks like the wind has dropped to 0 as well, so there should be no turbulence whatsoever. Oh, well, I mean, there could be air pockets and whatnot. Again, I forgot that I took a screenshot. These skies just look stunning. No, not that side. Oh, less that side too. Just stunning. I can imagine being a pilot, you would see the most amazing weather patterns, etc. in the sky. It would be pretty awesome. We're descending probably a little too quick, so I'm going to raise that up to 2,000 feet per minute. Just slow our descent down just a little bit, because we're coming too low too soon. In fact, let's go to 18. Jakarta Airport, or Soekarno-Hatta, is 34 feet above sea level, so again count that as 0. So this will be a very easy approach. 10 miles before turn on final, we will start putting the flaps out. 20 miles before last turn, I will start putting the speed down. So I'll go down to 220 and then 205? No, 225, then 210. And then we'll go flaps 1, etc. A weird horizontal blind effect on the dash. That's quite funny. Oh, the sun just making its way up. In fact, that's probably another screenshot. I can just zoom it a little bit. Maybe. Oh, come on. Get it about there. No, I want more of the sun. There. Gorgeous. Anyway. Better see where we're at altitude-wise, 295. Yeah, so come down a little bit too low, but too low is fine at this stage in the game. Let's see if ATC said anything to us. Oh, actually, no, we're not too low, because we're 2,000 feet. Yeah, no, we're fine. We are traversing fine. So we've got to adjust nav to 80 miles, since we're almost there. So seatbelts on at around just under 20,000, maybe closer to 18,000. There we go, keep speed not above 265. Well, we're already doing 242, so I don't think that's going to be too much of a problem. We're going to 230. I'm going to keep it at 1,800 feet per minute descent as well. So we want to be at 20,000 feet, 60 miles away. So I'll check what it is when we're at 70. We should be at 23 at 70 miles away. We're not even at 80 yet. Just crossing 80 now. Let's just get rid of that, we don't need that. And when we land, we'll be exiting the runway to the right, cross over 25 right. Oh, actually no. No, I think 25 right's on the other side of the terminal. So we won't be crossing over 25 right, but we'll be turning right to taxi into the terminal, and we'll see what gate it gives us. Dust on me. Have I been sitting here for that long? I've got dust on me. Funny. So a few thousand feet ago, the captain or first officer would have announced that, ladies and gentlemen, as you would have noticed, we have started to make our descent down into destination, in this case Jakarta. We expect you to have you on the ground in approximately 24 minutes, blah, 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 blah. And then, crew, please prepare cabin for landing. I don't generally do those while I'm playing, just all about flying. I know you can get add-ons where there is automatic cabin announcements, but I don't think you can get them for Xbox. Okay, so 23,000 feet, just going to maintain 17,000, speed not above 250 knots. Well, that's fine. Looks like the 1,800 feet down is pretty accurate, so we're close to 70. Let's go 2,000 feet because we did come down a little bit too slow. I'll just do that until see where we're at 60. If it's 20,000 feet, then I'll change it back up to 1,800 feet. It is nice to be flying in a jet that I don't have to worry about keeping an eye on the speed. The Airbus will manage that all on its own. The 737 not so much, which is a shame. I can see why people prefer Boeing though, because there's more to do. It makes it a bit more, it's a lot harder to fly because the systems are less intuitive than the Airbus systems are. But yeah, I can see why there's more enjoyment. You're not sitting around like right now. I'm sitting not touching anything. Whereas the Boeing, my eyes will be on the speed constantly. I'll be constantly adjusting that, and while adjusting everything else. And the fact that you have to turn the auto thrust off before you land, that really got me. I could not understand what was going on. I was trying to put my engines into reverse and nothing was happening, and overshot and just ended up ending that was my first flight, ended up ending the game without actually completing it, and then realised, because I had auto throttle left, I left auto throttle on. And I knew that too. It's not like I didn't know you did that in the Boeing, but I just forgot, and then it took me a long time to work out what I'd done. Okay, I'm going to keep that on 2,000 feet descent because we are started to not come down as fast as I'd like. But we are going to put the seatbelt signs on. Let's everyone get your asses in your seats and strap on. Strap in. That was almost the wrong terminology. And we can change our QNH to, well, it is 29.77 according to Meta. And at this stage, I'm going to turn on the ATC because things can change. So that's a much better descent rate there. So I want to be at 15,045 away, actually probably a little bit lower, because we have got those two slowdowns as well. No, it's too early to do the first one. Oh, we have to do the first one because it's telling us to slow down to 230, and we'll get down to 11,000. Again, I'm going to do it at 2,000 feet per minute descent, get us a little bit low. And it's going to bounce us up and down just a little bit. Probably could have done it a little bit gentler. So I want to be under 13,000 feet, 40 miles away. So we can get rid of that. I'll wait until we're down to 11. That's a screenshot right there. Let's grab that. Of course, now that's lighter, you can see the livery. You can see what I mean, how it's sort of very Dreamliner-esque, especially using the blues. But it does look really, really good on this aircraft. And they do have the Indian flag on there, so I suppose, does that mean they're a flag carrier? I don't know how that works. Okay, at 40, I'm going to drop it down to 2200 feet per minute just for a little bit, because I feel like, and it won't let me. Come on. Okay, it's not going to let me, because we're already starting to accelerate just a little bit. Where are we at? Oh no, that's all right, 13.5, that's fine for 40 miles. In fact, I might lift it to 1800 feet because we are starting to exceed our designated speed. We were told to keep it below 230 knots. Might even just put in some speed brake and get us down a little bit to 230. Come on. There we go. It's coming down to 11,000. Should be giving us some more instructions any second now. While we're at 11,000, I'm going to put us down to 225. No. Okay, it wants us to go to 210. Let's do that then, and we'll go down to 7,000. Gonna let the computer decide on the descent rate for this one to start with and see what happens. $25 away we'll go. Oh, actually no, we're at 210, so we'll just leave it at that. It shouldn't overspeed on the flaps. We do need our landing lights to come on. And while we're there, we're going to arm spoilers as well. So it's final turn-ish. I say ish because there's a little bit of a turn at Ugsel, but not much. Like an absolute slight deviation to the left. Also need to turn up some brightness on these displays too. It's looking pretty clear on the stream, which I'm happy about. That's the other thing with Twitch too, is it darkened everything. Was there just an aircraft in front of us, or was that my cursor? Oh, there could have been. There is someone there. Are they moving? I don't know. So 20 miles away, we'll go flaps 1, 15, flaps 2, 2,500 feet above flaps 3, and then flaps 4 before we touch down. So usually around 1,500 feet. Gear will come down at 2,000 feet. These are just numbers I've made up and fly with. Don't know how accurate that is. I've been trying to watch, I work in Brisbane City, I've been trying to watch narrow bodies as they fly over where I work, which means I have to go outside to do that, so on lunch breaks and whatnot, to see when they put their landing gear down, to see if I can gauge when to do it, and I think I'm doing it about right. Okay, it should give us 2978. Oh, I'm meant to be descending to 4,000. Saying speed at 190, which we can do, which means flaps need to go to 1, and I do need to descend to 4,000. Another 5 miles, we should be able to capture the glide slope. I'm actually going to cap, oh shit, I went the wrong way. I'm going to cap that at 1,200 feet per minute. (2978) is our QNH. In fact, if I turn on ILS now, I should be able to, yeah, and you'll be above. I'm just going to drop that to 1,500 feet per minute. Just watch that diamond go up. I want the diamond, the vertical diamond to go above the yellow line, or even right on it. We can actually put our locator on because we have captured that. Been given clearance to runway 25 left. I'm going to drop my altitude to 3,000. And we might just nosedive a little bit at 1,800 feet per minute. I just need to get in the glide slope. And we can go flaps 2. Okay, we're probably not going to capture the glide slope like this. Let's just go into approach now, and it should take us straight down. There we go. It's going to dive us just a little bit. Probably will overspeed slightly, so I might just chuck in some speed brake. Just a little bit. Just enough. There we go. Alrighty, we are coming down to land, so it should give us landing clearance fairly soon. You can see the haze in front of us as well, so the Metar wasn't lying. Apparently our QNH should be 2977. We can put our go-around altitude at 5,000. And we will go flaps to 3. Good timing. And my park brake's just going to turn itself on. Okay, it's going to do this right at this part of the game. Excellent. Beacon, they should all be on. Landing gear needs to come down. That's why I moved that, and I've got landing clearance as well. Clear to land. Excellent. There goes the gear. And around 1,500. We have no visibility, by the way. Can we see anything? Oh, you know, we can see stuff and things. We'll be able to see the runway lights fairly soon. And I'm going to put out that 4th notch of flaps. And we will get the auto brake set to medium. So now all we've got to do is just guide her in and try not to hold the flare. I have a habit of doing that, as if you've watched my last streams you will know. There's the outer marker, or is it inner marker? I don't know. It's a marker. There is a marker. Runway in sight, finally. We're coming down at what, 900 feet per minute, so it's a good descent for landing. Of course, my nose starts running at 1,000 feet. Okay, I'm going to disable. No, I'm going to wait for it to line itself back up again. Okay, I'm going to disable autopilot. I'm going to hand land. God, it's a steep approach. Is it meant to be this steep, or does it just look that way? See if you can keep you centre. You're coming a little bit too quick. Okay, it's not a steep approach. It was just a an illusion. 400. I'm always off to one side. Try and line that up.
300.
Wish I knew what that alarm meant. I hear that a lot.
100. 60, 50, 40, 30, 20. Retard, right?
Oh, that's it was a bit rough. Was that a It's alright, turn reverse, off to the side as always. And stow reverses, landing lights coming off. And we're just going to take this exit here. Right rudder just decided to stop working. Oh, probably because we're doing 40 knots. Yes, I will exit when able. Let's speed down to under 20. Alrighty, acknowledge the ground, tune ground, request taxi to gates. Gate 181, S5, SC5, oh Jesus, what does that say? Stop! What does that say? S55, what do we want? Park brake on, I'm just going to drop out, I'm just going to sit here for a little bit. We'll work this out. S5, SC5. Oh, so straight ahead. Okay, cool. While we're stopped, we will can that. We'll turn on our APU. We'll stow our landing lights and turn the strobe off. It's no longer required. Nav lights can stay on. Beacon can stay. Definitely has to stay on. We can start the APU and we can do some cleanup while we're here. So we'll get rid of all this. That can go back up to 2992. Don't need terrain any longer. And we will... So I want to go straight ahead. SC5, what was it? That's what I scrolled to the top again. Fucking hell, Microsoft. Sort your shit. S5, SC5. There's another sign. This is why I don't like taxiing with that blue line, because I can't actually, like, where do I go from here? Oh, there we go, SC5, SP1. Oh, so I want to make a right turn on this one here. And then SCX. I know I'm not saying the NATO numbers because I can't remember them. What is it? Sierra Charlie, I don't know what X is. X-ray, of course. Sierra Charlie X-ray. So we want Sierra Charlie X-ray, so we want to make a left turn. Oh, look at that sunrise. Oh, that's just gorgeous. Screenshot. Gonna regret that in a sec. So Sierra Charlie X-ray, turn here. Where is our gate? Oh, that's convenient. Oh shit, I'm just gonna overshoot. I'll drop the power down just a little bit for this. Oh, I'm way off, way off. And I'm coming in too fast. And I'm blinding my marshal with my taxi light. See if I can get it to, yep, there it is. Okay, it's engine 2 and 1 coming off. And we better get the taxi light off. We're blinding that marshal. It was just such a fine job. Shut up. Engine 1 bleed, engine 2 bleed off, generator 1, generator 2. Get the external power on since it's connected. Tanks can come off. APU can come off, and we'll get the batteries off as well since we have external power on. We better turn the seatbelt signs off so those passengers can get up off their asses and get the fuck out of my plane. But that's us. We are in Jakarta. So just made it for the sunrise. Oh, look at that. That's just gorgeous. Try to get the best vantage for a screenshot of that one as well. Why not? Lovely. But that's the flight. Thank you for joining us if you did, or if you're watching the replay. Like I said, I do stream twice per week, Thursday night, Sunday mornings. That is Australian Eastern Standard Time. Check out the schedule for the UTC times because I don't know where you are. According to my stats, my biggest audience is women in Greece aged between the age of 40 and 44. I'm not sure why they would be. Maybe they like the sound of my voice. Good on them. But that is our flight for today. That is us done here in Jakarta. So the next flight is, where are we? So the next flight will be, oh, my webcam came back on. Oh well. Edinburgh, so I have spoken about this, Edinburgh to London Gatwick in the Airbus A321neo. So a little bit of a short flight, but that will be on Thursday night my time, which is Thursday morning Universal Standard Time, 10:30 a.m. or 11:30 a.m. British Standard Time. That's if they haven't changed daylight saving. I have to check when they do that. So it's either going to be 11:30 or the clocks go, I can't remember if they go forward or back. We don't have daylight saving time where I live, so I forget which way it goes. They will go forward, maybe. Anyway, it's either going to be 10:30 or 12:30, but like I said, just subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications and you'll know. I always start my streams 15 minutes early because I have a 15-minute timer countdown, but the stream does start at the time advertised, just in case you're wondering why when you click on to a stream that I've started there's a timer. It is counting down to the actual start time. So don't think that I'm going to waste 15 minutes off your time. If it starts at 7, then it starts at 7. That's just how it works. But anyway, thank you very much for joining or watching on the replay. If you want to spawn in and fly alongside with me, behind me, in front of me, wherever, definitely feel free to do that. I play only live weather and live time. So whatever the weather is that day of where I've already scheduled, I'm still going to go. But I hope to see you again in the future.